Today's discussion is about Flutter and Dart assets, asset manifests. Well, if it's an asset manifest, an asset, it's really Flutter, right? But the idea, it also extends to package, anything that goes into a package and how it gets managed, and the two main scopes for packages, which are really for the program and for your tests, right? So if you think about it, when we add dependencies in our pubspec YAML, when we need to bring something in, it's basically brought into scope as it's either brought into the main scope or it's brought into the dev dependency scope. So dependencies are dev dependencies. And what that means is, because of the way that works, it turns out, so in this case, I have a demo app, and this repo is more complicated. I'll get to the next diagram in a minute. So I have a demo, and there are dependencies and dev dependencies in it, and I have two other packages in this project besides demo that I'm going to talk about, utilities and test tools. And so the utilities are actually needed by the app, and so they're put into the dependencies. But I have a bunch of test tools that I share across everything, a bunch of infrastructure, file loading, metrics, whatever it is. And I want those to be brought in only for testing. And so if I can create a package. It looks just like any other package. It looks just like utilities, except everything in it will only be brought in dev dependencies and it won't be shipped with the app. So, one thing I will say, it's a little caveat, and it's not really about this. It's a hot reload and other things. When you use assets in Flutter, those get copied into a directory, then they get picked up by your app. So when you make a change to things that are assets, not code files, the hot reload in the web just doesn't bring those in. It doesn't repackage the app. So it's just one of those weird things. If you can do something like maybe a logo or I don't know what, an SVG, no, that's dumb. Whatever it is, right? If it turns out you think you're going to need to keep reloading it and making changes, really code's the only thing that works for it with hot reload. So in this demo, and I'm not going to show you a whole lot of code, and if you don't like it, just go to the Git repo, and I'm going to put the address like a bunch, flash it on this thing. So in the Flutter assets demo, which is what we're looking at, there's basically a demo project, which is a library, and then a demo example that runs that demo. And so it's a dependency. And then there's a theme common and utilities that are both used by the demo library. So the demo has a dependency on, the demo example has a dependency on demo. Demo has a dependency on theme common and utilities. And it has a test dependency, dev dependency on test tools. And so that won't get bundled with the app, but that package is still available to us for testing. Let's see if I can make this fit. Not quite. Well, whatever. So in this case, we have the demo example. You can see it has no dev dependencies on any of our other packages, but it has dependencies on the demo. And then the demo library has dependencies on theme common and utilities, and it has dev dependencies on the test tools. And so this will get pulled into the project. And this, I guess the main thing is you can build your own test tools that are only used for tests. Super easy. And so how did we do this? Well, it turned out to make the assets available to the application. We just added, in this case, I did /themecommon / utilities. That's because I didn't want to have to publish these first, and they're in my repo with the same project. And so we just went and got them. That way you could also, when you actually refer to them, you'll refer to them as package / something. So what gets brought in? This just as an example shows you that we actually ended up with more than just our project, right? The Cupertino icons were brought in because we brought in the Cupertino component and something that we were working on. But we can also see that this pubspec.yaml actually brought in these 3 theme common assets and these 5 utilities assets into the main part because it's a dependency. And in this case, it turned out some of the assets actually came out of the lib directory because that's the way we defined them in the pubspec, right? So the other ones is for the test. And so this is the same project. And, you can see it's got utilities in common as a dependency, but we added test tools as a dev dependency. And so now in the test, you can see that we actually got the 3 test tool assets were brought in addition to the other library assets, right? So because in testing, everything that was in the dependencies tree gets brought in and everything in the dev dependencies for the test. And so, like I said, you can put non-code things in lib. If you could do that for like a Dart program. You might be able to do a loader. I haven't done that. But really, if you're going to use the asset manager, you can put them anywhere you want. They get added to the assets part of the pub spec YAML, and then you bring that package in scope, either for the application or for the tests. And everything in the application will be in the test because you got to be able to test it. And that's it. 5 minutes out. Have a great day. Oh, check this repo.